Welcome everybody to the Daily Mastermind. I'm Paul Baxter with Mortgage Mastermind Group. And guys, girls, we are here to, so if you are a regular on the Daily Mastermind, you know that over the last few days, last week and beginning this week, we've been talking a lot about consumer direct marketing. We've talked a lot about the cheese and how to get people to respond. We talked about follow-up processes and having 3 steps that kind of filter or funnel people through your process and get them all the way to where you want them to be and asking for the business. We've talked about how we develop our cheese. We talked about how we develop our squeeze pages. We talked about all those things. And it's time to start talking about how we get people to actually see these offers that we've created. How do we get the consumer to see that we've got a killer cheat sheet on VA loans? How do we get the person who is likely to be interested in a reverse mortgage to see that we've got the 10 most common myths about, dispelling the myths about reverse mortgage? How do we get people to see that? And when we talk about how we advertise, and I mentioned to you there's several ways that you can do it. You can do it via email. You can do it with flyers, direct mail. But I talked about Facebook being one of the major ways that you can get your message seen because of the sheer volume of people who are on Facebook. Golly, how do I explain Facebook and the importance of it? It really is a vast majority of people, especially people who fit our demographic of possible home buyers, use Facebook more as their permanent browser than just a social media site on the internet. It becomes their browser, what they use for all platforms, for all things. They search on for products that they're going to purchase. They research information about what they're interested in their personal lives on Facebook, not outside. So that's what we're going to kind of focus on this week, is we're going to focus on Facebook ads and decoding the different things that Facebook ads brings to the table. There are a lot of different ways to utilize Facebook ads, but if you utilize them in a very specific way, I think you can have success with it. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to have success with Facebook. So the first thing you have to know, and I got to ask, is there anybody, and I think I asked this the other day when we mentioned this, is there anybody on this call that does not have at least one Facebook fan page or business page? It's all the same. I call it a fan page. That's just, it's the short term of calling it a business page. Does everybody on this call has at least one business page, right? And just kind of looking through the people who I'm seeing on this call, I'm pretty positive that everybody on here has at least one, and some of you guys I know have 2 or 3, or some of you have as many as 4 or 5. So I think we're all on the same page as far as that goes. That's just one of those things I got to put out there. It's important to mention that when you talk about ads, because if you don't have a fan page, you just simply can't do ads. Facebook does not allow you to do ads anywhere other than on the fan page or business pages. The second thing that you need to know about what we're going to talk about today, or getting into Facebook ads, if you've never done it before, if you've never created a Facebook ad, it can be a little bit confusing on where to go to start your first ad. You could do a boosted post. A lot of you have seen where Facebook is prompting you when you post on your business page, hey, boost this post, hey, promote your page. That's different than going into the regular ads the way we're going to, and I think you get more impact, and I think you have more control over your audience and who sees your ad when you go through the regular create ad setup. And I'm going to tell you now that is the single most important part of your ad is your target, your audience, and we're going to spend a full day on that subject by itself. If you've never done an ad before, though, and you'd like to get to the real ad creator, not the boosted post or promote page stuff, just type in facebook.com/ads/manage. Now that's going to, if you've never done it before, if you've never even gone to that page, it will typically redirect you to facebook.com/advertising. And if it does, right smack dab in the middle of the screen is a big green button that says create an ad. Create an ad. If you go to ads/manage or .com/ads/manage, it's going to take you to a screen. It'll say you have no ads you have no campaigns currently running. Up on the top right, you're going to see a big green button that says create an ad. You're simply going to select that button when you start to create your ad. Now when you go in there, it's going to flash in front of you 8 different types of ads that you can do on Facebook. Yep, there are 8 different types of ads that you can do on Facebook. You're only ever going to use 3 of them unless you start becoming a gamer and create video games, or if you're going to create an application. Trust me on this, you'll only ever use 3 of thank you. I was torn between that. I didn't know if I should or shouldn't. But you're only ever going to use 3 of the different types of ads that are available to use on Facebook. And those 3 types are click to a website, page post engagement, and page likes. So this is the 8 that you're going to see. There's things like website conversions. It requires that you enable a cookie on your website, and you place the cookie here so that you can track the conversion. Unless you're an IT pro or you know how to do that kind of stuff, cool. For me, I'm never ever going to use that because I don't know how to create those cookies and all that stuff. I do my tracking from my website based on other criteria. I still have the ability to track. It's very important to track what kind of conversion you're getting. I can look at Facebook and their statistics and see that I had 114 clicks. Well, if I know I've got 40 registrants on my form and I got 114 clicks, well, let's do the math on that. What's the percent on that? You guys are my math people. I don't have my calendar up in front of me, but my guess is that's somewhere around 30% or 25%. And I could exit out of here, but you get the point. It's the number of clicks I got on Facebook versus the number of registrants I got on my form. That's how I figure out my conversion. I'm not computer savvy or a programmer enough to be able to create website conversion cookies. App installs, again, none of us are creating an app that we're trying to get people on Facebook to use. App engagement, I clicked in it. I can't even figure out what that actually does. Event responses, if you do an event and you want to advertise an event, you may actually use that one. If you're doing an event, I'm going to do my advertising on the other platforms because it's easier and because I have more control over all the different things. And I clicked through each one of these. They're all a little bit different, but the 3 that I like to use are the ones that give me the most leverage and the most ability to control what my ad says and does. Okay? So on the first one, the click to website, you'll use that if you have, so like Jeff, my buddy Jeff, he's creating his consumer direct landing page on his Weebly website. So he's got an existing website with an existing domain name that he likes quite a bit because that domain name brands Jeff. And he's created a page on that website with that domain that is his landing page. It may be more beneficial, depending on the sales copy he's got written on the page. It may be a benefit to him to quickly get an ad up and use the website, the clicks to website, because he's already got a unique URL that he wants to promote. Okay? What you do with that kind of a website ad is you paste the URL of your landing page, and by default it will use the image that you've got. So whatever image he has as a header image, or it will Facebook will search his landing page that he put the URL in and find an image. The first image it comes across is typically the image it will stick in there by default. Now, I always, when I'm using the click to website, I always change that image to something that fits a little better with my ad, something that is going to maybe get their attention if it's on the right column, or if it's in a news feed, it's going to catch their eye and bring their attention to it. And you can do that with a website click ad. You're going to choose, one of the options you have is to choose a page to attach it to. Now, it is not necessary to do, but it is very, very, I think it's a great, it gives you more options. So if you attach it to your Facebook page, you can then change the text and the headline of the actual ad. If you don't attach it to a Facebook page, it's going to take the meta title and meta description and use those items as best it can for the title and the text, or the headline and the text of your ad, if you leave it on the default or don't attach it to a page. So I always attach it to a page because that way I can put in whatever I want on my headline or whatever I want on my text. Now, keep in mind, you are limited to, and this goes whether it be you use the default or you attach it to a page and use the existing. You get 25 characters for the headline and 90 characters for the text. And I see a question popped up here on this. When you say landing page, that's my squeeze page, right? Yes, squeeze page, landing page, opt-in page. There's like 1,000 ways to describe it. But yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about there, Peggy. Yep. So when you think about the character limitations, and again, it goes for whether you attach it to a page or not, typically I'm not thinking of character limitations when I'm building my landing page on my own website. So if I use the website clicks and I don't attach it to my Facebook page, what typically happens is you'll get it'll have a little bit of the headline, but it ends where that 25 character ends. So if I'm saying something like get your cheat sheet, get your veteran loan cheat sheet here today, make sure to get a copy of your veteran loan cheat sheet, at the end of 25 characters I'm cut off, so I may only get your veteran, and then that's the end, so I get no real call to action. So I like to switch it up to the Facebook or attach it to a Facebook page, and then that way I can see exactly what my 25 characters entail, and I can tweak and mix and match and play with until I get the right headline that works for my ad. Same thing with the text. I got 90 characters. It doesn't give you a whole lot to catch their attention. 90 characters is about 2 sentences worth. And then there is an option to add show advanced options where you get an additional description area of 200 characters, which is a substantial amount. 200 characters, that's more like a regular tweet or text. You can get a good amount of information in 200 characters. But keep in mind, adding that additional option only is going to show your additional description in the news feed ad. It's not going to show it on the mobile, and it's not going to show it on the right column. It's only going to show it in the news feed ad. Can I use WooBox page as the landing page, right? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Not for the website click. You'll see in just a minute, Warren, the third option that I'm going to show as far as the options that you can choose from. Page likes is the one that you're going to typically use when you're using WooBox as your landing page. And so I'll talk about that pretty shortly here. And so this is what it looks like on a website click. So I'm landing people on mortgagemastermindgroup.com, and by default it had some very short, it said sneak peek mortgage, and it ended right there. And so what I did is I did the advanced options, and I changed my headline to Sneak Peek Mortgage Pros. That's my headline. And then here is a sneak peek of what we're all about, is my text. Now I've got plenty of more text available. And again, I just want I took the image on the desktop news feed so that you could see under the additional advanced options that I have my longer description that fills it in right there. Okay, this is what the ad will typically look like. Here's a sneak peek of what we're all about. That's what's going to show, and then underneath it, it's got this part with the click to my website. Does that make sense, everybody? So that's what it kind of looks like with the click to website ad. The next option, and this is the one that I have been using the most because I like the freedom that it allows me, is the page post engagement. Again, that's called page post engagement. And what you do with that is you create a post on your page and you promote or you do an advertisement on that actual post. The cool thing about doing it that way is it's a post on my page. I have no character limits. I get to include any image I want. I'm not limited because of Facebook's size restraints for what it shows here or on this ad. Or I'm not limited. I can put any image, any size image I want, and I can also, or do a video with the post instead of just what it allows in the setup of the advertisement. Is page post engagement? Peggy's got a great question here, and it's very important that you guys understand this question and the answer to it. The question is page post engagement what they call boosting my post? The short answer is no, it is not, Peggy. It is not the same thing. Now, you can, and I'm going to exit out of here just so you guys get the visual on this, and we will come right back into it in just a minute here. So if I come to a post on my fan page, now I have to scroll down because I'm currently running an advertisement, or actually this one does not have an advertisement running. This one has an advertisement running on it. If I click on Boost Post, I only get what's available here as far as boosting my post. People, you choose through targeting. Does that open me up through some targeting stuff? No, it does not. So it gives me very limited on what I can do as far as my targeting or demographics that I can use. I can boost it to people who like my page and their friends, or people you choose through targeting. But notice my targeting, it only gives me a limited stuff as targeting. It gives me age, gender, interest. That's not enough for me. So boosting, it limits you. It will show your post. Again, you've got the two options here. You can do it through targeting, which gives you just age, gender, and interest, or you can do it to people who like your page and their friends, so all the friends of the people who like your page. But that kind, in my opinion, that limits you, because if I go to my ads manager and I create a post, instead of doing it boost from there, and I do a page post engagement, and I'm doing this now because we're not talking about demographics or lists today. We're simply talking about the setup. So I'm just going to scroll down here. If I do it with a page post engagement this way, I now have the ability to choose my custom audience, and then in addition, I can do a custom audience there, or in addition to interests, I've got behaviors, such as financial behaviors, or residential profiles, such as likely to move. Or I can do more demographics, things like home, household composition, and I want only people that have a veteran in their home. Okay? Or grandparents. I can do it only to grandparents. Empty nesters. Those are going to be your groups that are more likely for your RM marketing right there, Peggy. empty nesters and grandparents. Those are your candidates for your reverse mortgage. So you've got a lot more access to stuff if you do it as a page post engagement as opposed to doing it as a boosted post. Does that make sense? Far, far better targeting, and that's what it's really all about, is the targeting. You know, I mean, setting up the ads, you could set it up very easily from the boost, but as far as targeting is concerned, that's where you get the advantage. You can include an image or a video. The cool thing is you can also include a URL to get clicks to your site in addition to the image or video. So I've got all of those components working for me. And what I like most about the page post engagement is that it is a much more natural type of ad. It doesn't feel like an advertisement to the viewer, which is far more encouraging and far more easily engaged with, because it feels like they're just seeing some content from a page of an interest of theirs. It doesn't feel like they're seeing an advertisement. It's just more natural. It's an easier and more natural way to communicate with a specific target in mind. So to set it up, you'll go page post engagement. And what Facebook says about it is that it creates ads that boost your posts and increase likes, comments, shares, video plays, and photo views. So it's going to increase the amount of engagement that happens on a post, and that's why I always include like a video or a photo with it. So the first thing you do is you go create the post on your fan page first. So I just wrote up a post, you know, a nice little post. I put the URL address in that I want people to click to. When it added the thumbnail part of that, I click the X to take away the little link box that it puts in when you put a link into Facebook, and that enables me to also do a photo underneath it. You can do both, and if anybody has questions about how I do that, I'll be happy to show you after today's presentation. Okay. You'll go into the create as before if you've never done it before, facebook.com/ads/manage, or just go to your ads manager, click the green button that says create an ad. This time you'll select the page post engagement section. When you do that, it's going to ask you for what page is the post on, so you'll select the page that you made your post on. And then it's going to ask you to select the post that you want to boost. Now, by default, the most recent post on that page is the one that shows up there, but you'll see there's a little drop-down menu there. So if it isn't the most recent post, you can drop that little menu down, and you can select from the list, and it has a list of all the posts that you've ever done on that page. So it's easy to find your post. Once you've done that, it creates the ad. There's no image to change. There's no text, there's no headline. It's not a traditional ad. Again, this is why it works for me, because it looks more like a post, or just like what they see on every normal situation in their news feed. This is why I use this as, if I'm doing a specific call to action ad, if I've got a very specific, I've got an offer, here's what I've got, here's what it does for you, here's how you get it. If I've got a specific call to action ad, I'm looking to do a consumer direct approach, I'm trying to get people to fill out my form, I'm doing a page post engagement. First of all, Facebook has said that ads that happen in the news feed get 43, I think it was 43, it's either 42 or 43% more engagement than ads that happen on the right column. So I want it in the news feed. Now, if I'm putting an ad in the news feed, and I saw one a minute ago that was just horrible, and I want to show it as an example if I can find it again, because it was, I mean, it's obviously an ad, and that's what I don't want on my ads. Ooh, there we go. See if I can find it. Bear with me. It's always dangerous scrolling through your news feed on a live class. It was just this one ad that was so obviously an ad that I mean, it wasn't even good. Now, see, they're going to show me it's nothing but content now because my ads are all at the top. Okay, Ryan. This is not a bad one. Download this free guide for tips on how to get more listings. That's a good ad. And I bet you $1 the way they've got this set up is if I click that site, it actually takes me to the actual ad itself, the image it takes me to, which is perfect. That's a good ad. Here's my ad showing up. This is my ad. That's what a newsfeed ad looks like. It looks like the regular content in my newsfeed, and I wish I could find that other one to show you when it looks like an obvious ad. And I don't know why I'm getting Domino's here, because I haven't ordered or eaten or looked at Domino's in a couple of years. Anyway, we're coming back to the PowerPoint. I was hoping to show you that what that difference sort of looked like, but it looks more natural. It just kind of looks a little bit more natural. It shows it more as a post than an actual click-to advertisement. Okay? And then the last but not least is the page likes advertisement. The page likes advertisement. That is really great. It's great not from branding, but for branding. A little typo there. It's great for branding. If you're not really trying to generate an action, keeps you visible all the time. And then the other part that I did not include in the PowerPoint, which is what Warren is talking about, if you've created a tab that you want people to land on a specific tab on your page that you've created your squeeze form on, you'll also use the page likes button. Okay? So page likes create ads to build your audience on Facebook is all Facebook has to say about it. What you're going to do is select the page you want to promote, choose an image that brands you well, like a headshot, or like Warren, what you'll do is you'll find an image that supports your offering or your message. You would kind of set it up the same. You would set yours up very similarly to the website clicks ad. You would set it up the same way as far as how to choose your headline, how to choose your text, how to choose your images. You're going to do the exact same thing. The only thing additional that you'll do is under advanced options. Again, you have to go there to be able to add your headline and your text. You'll see an option that says landing view. When you see that, see where I've got it, if you have set up a tab, you'll drop down that little landing view and you'll select the tab from the options. What that does is it makes it so that when somebody clicks your ad, it lands them on your landing view. So you would use the page likes not so much for the branding, not so much, you are trying to generate an action step. You would actually put in text that is your hook right here. What's going to get people to want to click on this button to make them want that free offering that you're giving them. Get your VA loan cheat sheet now and protect your family. Get all the information, get your VA loan cheat sheet now so that you know all the benefits that are due a wonderful hero like yourself. I don't know if that's 90 characters or not. That might have got a little too long-winded. Get your VA cheat sheet now to make sure you take advantage of all your benefits. And then in the headline, maybe something like Veteran Benny cheat sheet, veteran benefit, VA benefit cheat sheet. Make sure they know it's a cheat sheet. Use those catchy words that get people to take action. Cheat sheet, download, stuff like that. Complimentary versus free. Those are words that get people to take action more than if you use those other words free. Does that make sense, Warren? Are you on the same page with me on the page likes one? This is also where you would do a non-performing ad, an ad that is a billboard, so to speak, not an ad that is meant to produce results in terms of clicks or conversions, but an ad that is intended to be a billboard or a branding, not intended to produce conversion type results, but to produce the kind of results that are, hey, I see you everywhere I go. God, everywhere I look, that's where you are. It's another, that's what I use the page likes ads for. But again, Warren, for doing a tab, you would use page likes and then have that land on that landing view. Okay. New stuff that we discovered is my man Greg on the call with us. Greg and I discovered this the other day. Facebook has changed the way that right column ads are displayed. Anybody else notice that your right column ad, if you're doing one of those Facebook ads, billboard type ads, have you noticed that your image is a little bit funky now? They've changed the way that they're displaying the right column ad. Okay, so I got your fix for you, Bill, right here, my friend. It took a little poking around, but we figured it out. So the image area that they're using for the right column ad is much bigger now. It's meant to give you more image space instead of textual space. That's that Facebook is no dummies. They know that images are what catches eyes. That's the thing that gets people to click a button, all that type of stuff. So they're trying to give us, and their vigor to do well, they gave us more landscape, more area to be able to brand ourselves, get more people to click our ad. It makes our headshots not fit the space. So if you've got an image in there, you'll notice that you'll get this little error message. And I took a Jing image of this because I want you to see that the minimum size for an image with an advertisement on Facebook now, and this goes for any image on Facebook advertisement, the minimum size is 254 by 94 pixels. And that has everything to do with the way that they're displaying right column ads. Now, because of the way that Facebook presents ads, meaning they show the news feed, the mobile, and the right column ad are all based on the same advertisement. They're all based on the same advertisement. Well, it makes playing with these images a little bit more specific. So here's the little workaround that we've came up, the little ninja tactic that we came up with. You're going to take your regular headshot, Bill, and you're going to paste it into just a regular old PowerPoint slide all by itself. Okay? And then the next step, you're going to kind of make it the size you want, and this is a little stretched based on making it fit for the presentation here. Once you make it the size you want, you're going to Jing anything that is larger than 255 by 95. Again, the reason for that is Facebook wants a minimum of 254 by 94. So if I've got 255 by 95 or anything there above, I'm in good shape. Now, because I didn't want my picture to look stretched out or squished down, I just kind of dragged the corner and I used Jing to make sure that I was at least 95 pixels tall, and then I just Jinged it starting and made it 255 pixels long, and I got top to bottom of the picture. Turns out it's 110 pixels top to bottom of my image to make it fit for 255, and I just made a Jing, just kind of took Jing while it was on the PowerPoint and made one of these with no border, obviously, and saved that to my computer. Once I saved that to my computer, I then upload that as the actual image. Just did my little upload image, and notice it shows that it's 255 by 110. Now on the right column, it's still taking my my head away a little bit, and maybe I would make it a little bit, maybe some more white area above so that my picture fits a little bit easier, and we'll play with that in a minute here once we're done. But now I've got, it makes it so that it fits the area. Instead of it, you know, making my face be all the way across here, it makes it look like my picture is meant for that ad exactly the way it is. So there's a little ninja trick on making your page likes type ad, the non-performing type Facebook ad, work a little bit better for you. Okay, so what Bill's noticing is that it says also, let me scroll up here, it also says recommended size 1200 by 444. Again, with Facebook ads, I'm not in my ads manager anymore. With Facebook ads, let's go to page likes. So by default, it's got my 851 by 315 banner image that it's going to show on my ad, right? And it's going to show it in the desktop. It'll look like this. So it's optimizing that image size for the desktop news feed. The mobile news feed, again, like that, and then the right column, it kind of shrinks it all up in there. Now, it wants a 1200. There's my smaller one. And so now my desktop news feed doesn't look bad. My mobile news feed, it doesn't look bad. And my right column, they all fit together. Now if I took a big old giant picture, (963 by 200, now it starts messing with it and cutting things off. Like, I don't understand where they come up with this 1200 by 444 because it doesn't optimize it for me. So it kind of messes with your pictures, but that's it's showing you that max size because it wants to maximize it because it knows it gets the best results out of the news feed. It's going to maximize it for the news feed. The right column ad is just a side thought. But for what you're doing with the page likes, if this is an ad that you're doing for non-performing, well, that's exactly what you want. You know, you want an ad that is optimized for the right column, and then if it's a non-performing ad, I'm turning off the desktop and mobile ads, right? I'm turning those off altogether. So that's how that works. So tomorrow, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to discuss demographics. We're going to discuss different ways to set up custom audiences. And we're going to discuss, once you've got an ad up and running, how do you edit an existing ad to tweak it? Maybe change a word here, change a little bit of your demographics there. See if it performs better if you put this word in front of that word. You want to be able to have your ad perform optimally all the time, and editing, changing, mixing around, playing with your sales copy, those are all things that can help you maximize and figure out the best advertising that you can do. So that's what we're going to cover tomorrow. What questions do we have today, guys? We've got a few minutes here to dive in and kind of look at some of this stuff. Now, the way that I did that, let me go File, let me go New, Blank Presentation. So, Bill, the way I did my picture, I just went to Insert Pictures. I grabbed my face picture. I grabbed my face picture. And you can make it any size. Now what I would probably do, because it's still cutting my head off a little bit, oh, is that because it's only 94? Maybe I make my capture a little bit bigger with my white background a little bit bigger. I was trying to hide that it's got a white background top and bottom, but it really doesn't make much of a difference when putting it into Facebook. So I'm going to capture this one. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Save that. We're going to call it test for FB class. Yes, override the first one. So let's come in here and let's upload an image. And that's the one that's got the little larger white border around it. Nope, doesn't change up anything. Oh, there it does. Now it's got my whole head in there, and it's not cutting off because I've got more of a white border on the top. So I added a little bit of extra border there, Bill, and it looks like it's got it better fitting the image into the thing. Make sense? Peggy, what do you mean you think you need that again? Can you put it on the Facebook page? What is it you need again? And I'll be happy to provide it for you. Absolutely. Just remind me what it is you're looking for. Okay. Move a few slides back, and I'd tell you more about it later. I might have even told you about it a little more about it later. Yeah, I figured that was way too far back. I figured it was kind of right in this area when you posted it. Oh, okay. Yeah, how do you, okay, yes. So what I was talking about is when you're creating your post, if you're doing a page post engagement, when you're doing a page posting engagement, so when you go to type in, like you're creating a post, and you type in your message, and then you say go to www.mortgagemastermindgroup.com. Now, by default, it automatically, Facebook adds the little link and thumbnail section here. If I remove that, notice now my image thing came back up, and when I go ahead and click post, that makes it a clickable link. So kind of like what I did here, or let's look at that page post, the one that we were looking at in the. So I typed in that, and then I deleted that, and then that allowed me to still go ahead and upload an image to go with my picture. So what it does is it allows me to have my image there and have my clickable link. And so I'm trying some different things. As you can see, this one's got the call to action link way down in the bottom. What we noticed is when you see that advertisement, what it does is it cuts off, you know, the chat breaks down, one, and then see more. That's what it shows in the ad. So we're testing on this one to see if having the call to action is generating more click-throughs or more likes. So I'm actually running a little bit of a split test right now to see which one is getting me more action, which one is producing a better result. And I love doing that, because here's the cool thing about it is I've got, you know, two ads doing a very similar thing, but they're producing very different results. Which is cool. I like being able to split test and kind of see which one's going to work for me better. Absolutely, Bill, and that is absolutely. We've got a couple minutes. We can show you that. So Bill wanted to see, the other day we were talking about ways to not show the related content on YouTube. Now, Bill, the question is, are you embedding it, or you just want to share the URL address of it and not have the related videos? Because it's two different things there. Both of them revolve around, first and foremost, going into your account and go to Creator Studio. From there, you're going to go into your Video Manager. From your Video Manager, you're going to click on your video that you want to embed or share in any way, shape, or form, like you're going to watch it. Absolutely, we are definitely recording. So once you do this, you're going to scroll down underneath your video and you're going to click on that share option, and that's going to bring up the share options. So Bill, what you want to do to get the URL without the extra links, first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on embed. Now, if it's the first time you've been in there, you're going to notice underneath the link, underneath the size, there are these three check boxes. When you first do this, the first checkbox is always by default checked off. When you first upload a video, by default, it is checked off to show suggested videos when the video finishes. When you come in to share, it's always like that by default. But if I uncheck it, notice this little section right here. I want you to watch this section in my URL address when I uncheck this box. Watch what happens to what I've got highlighted. Boom, goes away. When I check it, comes back. That question mark REL equals 0 stands for related videos equals 0. So I can either take my embed code now, and it will, when it finishes, it just finishes. It doesn't show related videos. But the cool ninja trick we learned the other day is between these quotes. So SRC stands for source equals, and then there's a quote symbol. And then at the very other end, after where I clicked, remember I clicked that show suggested, don't show suggested, it adds that REL equals 0. There's another quote. If I copy everything between those two quotes, that URL address is now a URL address that is just this video with the REL equals 0 as part of it. So now when that video ends, it just ends. That's all. It doesn't show related videos. It doesn't show all the related content. Did that help you, Bill? Is that what you were looking for, my friend? That is a fantastic tip. One of the greatest tips I've ever seen, Alan. Awesome stuff, brother. All right, guys, girls, great stuff for today. I hope you learned a little bit of something. The main thing is just know that there are different types of ads that you can use. We'll have this recording up and ready for you shortly. For what we're doing, consumer direct stuff, if you're doing it on a WooBox tab, you want to do it as a page likes. If you have your own landing page outside of Facebook, I would recommend a page post engagement. That's probably going to be the best way to do it. If you don't want to create a full post, you just want to do the short version, do it as a website clicks or clicks to website. Guys, girls, thank you so much for taking your time out to hang out with me today. Tomorrow we're going to dive into demographics. We're going to talk about custom audiences. We're going to talk about how to edit your ads once it's in there. So we'll kind of tweak out and make sure you understand how Facebook ads works, and take the mystery out of it for you so that you can be successful with it as well. I'm Paul Baxter here with Mortgage Mastermind Group, hopefully teaching you everything you need to know to help you grow your business and produce for yourself a planned, purposeful implementation strategy. Steve Gilbert, good to see you, my friend. Guys, girls, have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow from Nebraska. Have a good day, everybody. Bye now.